Hey guys, and welcome to this first video of the SBL Season 12 Finals season, specifically the Zangoose Conference semi-finals. The two matches we have prepared for you are the Fishiest Fiends with Grass versus the Stealth Squadron with Fighting, and the Pink Potato Club with Fire versus the Swanky Sweepers with Bug. Hey everybody, welcome to the SBL Season 12 Finals. I'm here with Andrew again.
Hey, back again.
And we will be covering the Zangoose finals. So we've got the first matchup for you today. This is first and fourth. So first being the Stealth Squadron fighting versus the Fishiest Fiends with Grass in fourth.
Yeah, this will be interesting for sure. Last time these two played in the regular season, it was a 6-0 going to Alex. So hopefully it's a bit closer than that. Fighting is a great type, you can't deny that, but I think Grass has some stuff up its sleeve, so we could really see anything with these two. The brothers have gone back and forth not only uh, in matches in general, but in the finals when they versed each other as well. They're pretty closely matched, so yeah, hopefully it's a good one here.
Oh yeah, I mean we've got some all stars here. You know, Grass has brought Miascarada, which is not amazing into fighting, but the fact that it can change its type and we know it doesn't get access to play rough, that's going to
Yeah,
help a lot.
that's a huge benefit right there.
There's fighting's got Infernape is back. We know that Infernape did very well the last time. And
Yeah,
Como-O, which with the stats video that has gone up, Como-O was the fourth. No, it was fifth place. My apologies. It was fifth place on the Golden Fist.
yeah, it
Fighting's
was
Como-O,
definitely
just underneath
right
Dragon's
up
got
there.
Como-O. So we've got some interesting stuff. Let's get it going, and then we'll talk about leads here.
Yeah, well,
I see. I mean, I feel like Infernape or Sneasler are good here as a start for fighting.
yeah, Infernape worked really well last time. He just let off with the flame charge to get a speed boost going on. Um,
Grass is
and
maybe
I mean, Miascarada
Livani.
does make a lot of sense because it's just the fastest thing here besides Sneasler.
I mean, if
Uh,
that's Sash Livani, it gets webs up for free.
that's true. Um, I did do some mocks with Nick, and he did lead with something else. I'll wait and see if he actually does it before spoiling anything. But um, yeah, the those ones do make a lot of sense. So yeah, this is what he led with. He did lead with the
Interesting.
Flapple. So um,
Okay. Well, we got the Sneasler right. I was not expecting Flapple.
yeah, neither was I. But when he brought it out, I was like, wow, that thing. Yeah, it does get hustle and it does hit hard. So
Yeah, no, Flapple's an interesting mon in general. Hustle is one of those abilities where it can be incredible for you if it works, but
yeah.
you've really got to bank on it working.
And you don't have Gmax, so you can't just click those no miss moves. You can't get that Grav Apple boost when it's maximized. I forget what the the Gmax form of that move was called, but yeah, you don't get gravity set up for free
Yeah.
in this regular form. So you just gotta hope that RNG is on your side and you hit some of those moves. I could expect maybe U-turn from the Sneasler, or maybe just a Diaclaw right off the bat. Either one would be good. Oh,
Or
he
just a
just
straight
hard
up switch.
switches.
Okay.
Interesting.
Ooh.
And
Oh! Dual wing beat. I see. That
yeah,
makes more sense.
it
Okay.
does. You can break any sashes off his lead mons, um, if you hit, that is. Not that
Yes.
this would have done a lot of damage at all to Aegislash before the Terror, but that still is rough to miss immediately.
I mean, at this point, you've revealed the dual wing beat.
And not gotten anything
and
out of
not
it.
gotten anything out of it exactly. So at this point, it's is he locked into dual wing beat? We haven't seen anything from an item,
Yeah, well,
but this is going to be
the way
likely
he,
just a Terra King Shield.
mm, the way he confidently clicked dual wing beat in front of Sneasler would.
Oh,
Oh, it was not a
oh
king shield.
no, that's what
Oh, this is
Totema's weakness
exactly what he
bonus
did
is.
last time. Okay.
Okay, so
Uh,
this is a fully set up Aegis Slash now.
yeah. Last time I believe he was running air slash.
Yeah, that
Uh,
would make sense. It could be Aerial Ace to guarantee it not
yeah.
missing here.
It might have actually been aerial ace. It was one of the air moves.
Oh
Um,
no, he has brought Special Aegis Slash with Air Slash before. I just don't
yeah.
remember if it was for this game or not.
This is looking dangerous. It depends. Yeah, what Nick's item is, because leading off and just confidently clicking that dual wing beat, you'd think either scarf or sash. Um,
Yes, I would have said so. Scarf
yeah,
is sort of what came to mind for that.
yeah, same
Uh,
thought over here.
Flash cannon.
But
Oh well, it's not.
bam,
Well, that tells us that it definitely wasn't sashed.
yeah,
I feel like if there is a sash here, it's on Livani or it's on Tusk.
yeah. He does
That's
like
just
it
what
on
makes
Tusk.
sense. He's brought it many times on Tusk to let Tusk live, and then deal out a massive hit at the end. I'm starting to think it might not be on Livani because I feel like Sash lead Livani would have been the play if it was sashed.
Mm. I think my question here is, does a sucker punch kill from this range? I would think not, because he can just click King Shield, and
Correct.
then he's going to be in shield form
Leaves. Okay,
and
where are we
resist.
going with leaves? There's the King Shield.
Just
So you're
scouting.
just seeing what
Smart
it does.
move.
Just try to
And
protect. Okay.
likewise, just scouting on his side as well. I suppose he can click it again, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it really nets you.
There's the sash. It's on
Okay,
this thing.
Sash.
Oh, and he's flinched.
Oh no. Oh, Nick's not going to be happy about that one.
Oh. Oh, there
Oh,
have been some big flinches in the last couple of rounds, and then in
yeah.
finals as well. Oh, that hurts. And Nick's given up. Yeah, that makes me think this was his only sash.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he misses turn one and then gets flinched. Oh, that hurts.
That is rough. In a normal game, you might have some way to come back, but in monotype, sometimes the deficit is a bit too much when your entire team is weak to the same kind of things.
And you're dealing with a full setup.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I mean, look, there's still a chance here. If there is another sash on the squad, and you don't get flinched, because the thing is, I don't see anything living a hit. I don't see anything living a single hit.
Yeah, I wonder if Sucker Punch crit is
Yeah.
your
Look,
win con in this, or like
Tusk has a
way to get back in
chance.
the game.
Tusk would have a chance to live, I think, but not at +2 and then
Yeah,
being weak
it's
to
just
the air slash.
too specially frail.
Yeah.
It's weak to the air slash before it terrors
Either
and
way,
after it
yeah.
terrors. So
Cried in the movie. Yes, I totally understand that one.
yeah, that's one of the few that I have seen. That is a
Forever
classic.
is a very, very good film for the
Yeah.
Pokemon franchise. The first two, the first three,
Oof.
technically.
Cried in the movie and probably crying right now, to be honest.
Yeah, Nick's just gonna have to. This is gonna be. If this is not Sucker Punch, then I don't know.
And if it was Sash Levani, it would have come out by now, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
quick
quick
attack.
attack.
Oh,
Okay.
and it's
Oh,
gone down.
all right. Maybe you should have gone to that previous turn, but hey, he's still in this. The quick attack makes a whole lot of sense because it's just going to be stronger than resisted sucker. So
Yeah. And saying that though, you have just put
made
yourself in
yourself
being a
normal
normal
type,
type.
yeah.
Yeah, which is now weak to,
But I
definitely now weak
mean,
to the entire team.
you got to get the kill somehow. So
Correct. Yeah.
all right, he's not out, but that is a rough start.
Losing half your team to the H slash is ridiculously hard, but if you can cycle the Meowscarada out, be able to bring it back in to go for play
The play
rough.
roughs, yeah, because it
Um,
is basically the
well,
fastest thing except Sneasler.
I say that though. It's neutral into Infernape and it's neutral into Sneasler. And here
Yeah,
comes the Slitherwing. So this is... He can't switch because this is going to be first impression. Oh, he could switch to
mm.
Tusk.
I mean, at least you're not weak specifically to
No.
first impression when you're normal type.
But
So
at the same time, do you expect the first impression? Don't switch because then
and
it
then
goes for
get
close
close
combat.
combated, yeah.
Yeah. Because if it is first impression, then Tusk is a safe switch. But then Tusk has to eat a fighting move. Which is... It can take take a fighting move. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't
But...
think this can take out Tusk in one hit, but it's what you do from that point is the
Not
question.
before it terrors, no.
Yeah.
Nick is down to his last 90 seconds, and Alex is down to his last minute and a half. Sorry, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nick really would have to
He
be
needs to be thinking real hard about this now.
considering, yeah, some kind of way out of
It
the
is the
situation.
Levani. There's the first impression. Yep. And it's not even Sash Levani. So, yeah. I wonder what the play was with Levani, with it not being Sash.
I do actually know what he was going for there, 'cause in prep, he actually, well, if he's kept it the same, he had it as Scarf because he was just finding that he could get the webs off a bit more consistently
Yep,
with
okay.
Scarf.
Scarf webs, then either have it die or just get out of there and then
Yeah, ideally he
come
wanted
back
it to
in.
die, and then he just has the momentum there. But
I mean, even then, if you get it out and bring it back in, you can
yeah, it
either
could
have
hit
Scarf,
something.
yeah, Scarf X Scissor, Scarf Leaf Blade. I
And
mean,
you
not
can
that
see
much of
the
that would do into this team, but
yeah, but better than nothing.
yeah,
You can see the logic with Scarf instead of Sash as well, because
yes, oh yeah.
then you don't run the risk of those flinches. Happened to me earlier
There's
this
the
season too when
aerialize.
I went
Yep.
for those kind of sets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here we go. So this is now cannot miss. It is now stab, and
nothing resists it.
nothing will resist. Everything is weak. Now the
In
question is,
saying
does
that,
something outspeed?
yeah, well, if Sneasler is Scarf, then he's got to worry about that.
Yes. But also now, in theory, Meowscarada is not weak to any of them,
That's
being
true.
a flying type. So the Diaclaw is not gonna be, it's not gonna be weak into Diaclaw, you know?
Yeah, but you are playing
Uh,
with those secondary effect chances.
Correct.
Okay.
He's brought Universe Known is back. Okay.
Yep. This is scary, obviously, because it can be several different sets.
If this is Z move, if this is the Z move, comma,
Mm.
this could be very dangerous.
Yeah,
Because
if
there is a
Meowscarada...
chance that it lives, and then the Z move gets off,
Yeah, I do think it would live.
and he switched. Oh, he
Yeah.
switched. That might be
I,
the
th-
biggest. That might be the problem. Yep.
I, I think he had to, though. He'll still outspeed here if he's Scarf, and he can hit with Play Rough. It's just the rest of the team is going to take a Play Rough.
Well, the problem with that is that Player has a chance to miss.
Yeah.
Aerial
I think
Ace
it's.
could not miss, and Aerial Ace would have been. Oh, he's got
Ooh,
the vacuum
forgot about
wave.
the vacuum wave. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I,
okay.
I could see that sequence happening, and it like obviously wins the 1v1 there, but then yeah, you've got two things that resist, and you're probably locked in now. So
Well, I can assume. Oh, and yep, there it
yeah,
is. Diaclaw. I was wondering for a second there. The fact that he didn't go immediately into Infernape made me go, okay, well, Infernape does not have Mark Punch.
mm.
Um, when the Sneasler comes in, I go, I wonder if this is rocking Fake Out. Just to get a little bit of
Yeah,
momentum, just to fake out and just be like, well, I can guarantee getting. I can guarantee getting the. What's the word I'm looking for here? Give me a second.
just free
The
chip basically.
the priority was the word I was going for, but yeah, get the
Yeah,
chip. But
right.
at 9% there, the fake out's probably taking you out. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a good match compared to last time for sure. Like changing it from a 6-0 to a 3-0 is, good adjustments. When I prepped with Nick a little bit, I did find Sneasler was very strong into him, so I'm not surprised that it cleaned up at the end here.
Sneasler is
Um,
just a ridiculous Pokemon. It's so good.
I will say, if not for some of that bad luck there, it could have been very close. That
I agree.
that flinch was quite
The flinch is
massive.
what the flinch is what almost lost. Like the flinch is basically what lost Nick that game.
Yeah, I mean, not saying he was guaranteed a win without that, but it would have been closer for sure.
I do wonder. Now this could be interesting. Let me check something. This isn't guaranteed, but I'm just gonna have a quick look. If we look at that one, let's just go that one. And then we look at Meowscarada.
We're in the calc zone, everybody.
Yes,
Welcome
we're in
to
the
the
calc
calc
zone.
zone.
I'm going to assume it was scarfed. I don't know, but I'm going to assume it was scarfed. And then we're going to go Aerial Ace.
I think it's too weak of a base power for it to have cleaned up the rest of the team.
Um, yeah, look, it's certainly possible. Flying. Oh, that doesn't. That's not how I want to do it. I don't want to make it Terra type flying. I want to make it just flying. Yeah. Okay. So, into Como-O, the Meowscarada's Aerial Ace is not doing anywhere near enough.
Yeah,
But a 3-hit triple axle would have killed a non-invested, non-HP invested Como-O.
yeah. But
So yeah,
at
at that
that
point you're
point,
very much you're risking it incredibly hard.
and at that point, he was probably locked in with Scarf, so
Yes, I would
couldn't
assume so.
really switch
I would
moves.
assume
Yeah.
it would have been scarfed. And we'd already seen 3 of its moves. We'd seen Play Rough. Well, sorry, we assumed Play Rough. We hadn't seen it until right at the end there.
Mm.
We'd seen Aerial Ace and we'd seen Quick Attack. So that last move slot, if it had been Triple Axle, but even then he'd have to lock into Triple Axle against a fighting team, which is not what you want to do.
Yeah, especially when one of them is Infernape. So
Correct, yeah. Okay, well, with that, that means that Stealth, aka Alex, is moved on to the conference final.
yeah, and
So,
we're gonna have a little break in between here, but then we shall see who he's gonna end up facing after this next match.
yeah, we will have the second matchup for the Zangoose finals in just a moment. We will see you then.
Hey everyone, welcome back for the second battle in the Zangoose Conference semi-finals here. Me and Hayden once again continuing on with this action-packed battle. And last time it was super close. We had a 1-0 going in non-applicable's favor, so really interested to see if Battlebane has made an adjustment, well, made enough adjustments to pull it through, or if we're going to get a repeat of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean it's a very tough matchup. This is Bug versus Fire. So on paper, Bug doesn't stand a chance. Being the final pick in the draft, it was the type that was left over. Fire having no need to run boots because of rocks, except for this specific matchup because of Cleavor.
Yep.
But we have our inaugural champ in non-applicable from season 1 back in 2016 against the most recent champ, Battlebane, in season 11.
Yeah, that is quite
Um,
a interesting dynamic there.
and
They've
the fact
both
that
won one so far, so
yes, well, the fact that the last one was a very narrow 1-0. I think that's going to equate for a lot here.
yeah, for sure. You can see on Battlebane's side, 4 out of 6 are all neutral to fire. So, you know, he's definitely brought the kind of things you would expect to see, but that Scolipede is interesting. Um,
Well,
speed
it's
boost,
likely going to
never a
be
bad
Swords
thing.
Dance, Speed Boost, Earthquake. That's what
Yeah,
it's likely to. It's probably speed, probably also Rock Slide because knowing
rock
that
slide as
someone like
well for
Charizard's
sure.
probably showing up. We do see Shuckle. Shuckle has returned.
Yeah,
Uh, Now we know that this Shuckle has been an absolute menace.
it sure has. It just sits there and
Um,
refuses to die.
we've seen this Shuckle the last few times not even have an attacking move. It's just been like Toxic Stall.
Yeah,
Will we see a repeat of that? There's nothing on non-applicable side that's going to want to worry about Toxic Stall. Like nothing stops Toxic Stall.
yeah, no absorbers of that toxic.
That's Cinderace, I think, if it is court change, which I feel like it would be, specifically for this matchup because of the Cleavor, getting rocks up on your opponent's side in this matchup full stop, I think is going to be actually quite good. Because you've
Yeah,
got
neither of them wants rocks on their side, that's
no.
for sure.
Well, I mean, in saying that, 3 out of 6 on Battleband side are not are only a neutral to rocks. Like they don't
Mm,
take any extra damage from rocks, and 2 on non-applicable side are also neutral to rock. We've got the Paldean Tauros and the Hisuian Arcanine. But if that
yeah, and
Charizard is not boots, that Charizard is taking 50% coming in.
we did see last time Rapid Spin, Torkoal, Court Change, Cinderace, and it was Charizard, the Mega X version. So those could all come
It's
into play
likely going to be
again.
similar. Let's get it going then, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think for leads? I could see Cinderace as a pretty,
Cinderace and
uh,
Scarf Cleavor, I would assume, would be the most obvious
yeah.
choices.
You could go Torkoal if you want Sun Up as well.
Yeah,
Um, you could also go Araquanid for webs on Battlebane's side.
yeah. I do feel like my brain is just seeing Scarf Cleavor either going for the U-turn or the Stone Axe. If it's going for U-turn, it U-turns into the Araquanid, and then allowing Araquanid
Mm.
to take a fire hit with the water bubble, and then going for those webs after that. That's what my brain is saying. Whether that's actually what it's going to be is a different story, but
Yeah.
could also just lead Shuckle. Could be a Shuckle lead and just start stalling him out.
There's actually a lot of options in this matchup. Um, I do think he'd be wary of the court change, given that it was used last time to move over the web. Not the webs, the stealth rocks. I don't think he got a chance to get webs up, even if he had webs at all.
Yeah, I actually wonder if there is rain on this team
Yeah, because Amalda
because of
gets
that
to
Armaldo.
swim,
Exactly my thought. Yeah.
and Raquanid wouldn't mind, especially having water bubble plus rain. That would that would do some significant damage.
Yes. And if you can get rid of Torkoal early on, and then you've got control of the weather,
Yeah.
that is a huge advantage. Any weather wars are incredibly hard to deal with if you've
We
lost your actual
do.
setter.
Yeah, we don't have the weather extending items, but still, it would be beneficial.
5 turns of weather is enough. It's more than enough when it comes to things like this. We've seen
Yeah,
what three actual turns of tailwind can do.
that's true. Especially if it's something like Bandit or Maldo or yeah, something to take advantage of Rock Slide or Stone Edge.
I don't know. I'm just seeing the fact that Armoldo is there is making me believe there is rain somewhere,
Yeah,
because
unless
the
it's
rain is going to help Battlebane's entire team because it's going to
hmm,
reduce the incoming fire damage.
yeah, unless it's just there to be, you know,
A rock
another
dart.
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really
Really thinking
seem
hard on
to
this one.
be taking their time.
Could have hit start. We could have hit play earlier without the preamble.
True that.
the
But there
the
they
way
go.
this one's going.
They're given the good luck, have funs now. So
All right, here we go.
there we
Ace
go.
Cleaver and Arcanine.
Arcanine. Okay, interesting.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling weakness policy on something on non-applicable side here.
Yeah,
Could be the doggo.
could be. I would see Cinderace with that would be really good.
Hmm.
Tauros, with it with Raging Bull, could be
Yeah,
very scary.
especially because it's neutral to the rock type moves, which surely he's expecting. So
Yes.
surely we see Stone Axe from Battle Bane.
I look. You would assume so. But at the same time, you might just want to U-turn out of there to get into Araquanid to stop the water move coming through. So the fire move coming through.
Hmm. That's
But
true.
this could also just be a rock move from Arcanine, and then it's now it's just a hard swat to Valiant.
And a head smash.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that makes sense.
Could be banded, although
Yeah.
even resisted, I feel like banded would maybe do a little bit more to this thing. Like
Look,
it's quite
Valiant's not.
a
Yeah, Valiant's defense itself. Its defense is only 90.
yeah, and this thing being stab and using head smash, I feel like it probably would have done slightly more. This could be scarf even.
It could be Scarf. I mean, it's this thing's a
Would
base
be a good
115.
lead.
Base 115 stab, access to Rock Head.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking scarf here, which
Yeah.
means unless Valiant, I mean, even if it has Mark Punch, it probably wouldn't OHKO.
Torkoal, yeah. There's the close
Okay,
combat. Yeah,
anyway,
that makes
close combat.
sense.
Could also be Scarf, the Valiant, so not a bad switch there.
Yeah. I mean, this way you've now got Sun set up. So if your
Yeah, and
opponent does have a way to get rid of that Sun, they need to be ready for it.
hmm. Okay, nice.
Oh, interesting. Willow the Shuckle. Okay.
Not
That is not
really,
leftovers.
yeah, not the best thing to get a burn on, but hey, I wouldn't complain.
Well, we've seen it before with Rest, so if it's a Rest Shuckle again, then that burn's probably going to disappear
Yeah.
recently, likely soon. But I'm starting to wonder if this is an old friend of yours, if this is Scriptclaw.
That would be interesting for sure, but
Well, with no
I don't know.
leftovers on the Shuckle, what other item are you running? Unless you're going to Shell
It
Smash.
could be a berry or
Could
something.
be a berry. Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
I
Could be a
think
berry.
it probably gets recycled, right?
I believe so.
Because that would be kind of
There's the
effectively the same as
Tauros.
rest.
There's
Yeah,
Toxic.
here's the toxic stall coming through.
Nope, there is leftovers.
It is lefties,
Why are the
yeah.
leftovers not? Oh, I know why. Okay, so the leftovers didn't go off the last time because they were supposed to happen before the burn?
Yeah, I think it was just because it came in at the end of the
Yeah, it must
turn.
have been. Okay, so we can take the group claw idea out of the window.
Yeah.
Would have been
Honestly,
interesting, but
yeah, I probably would have gone to Wake there. Just you really need to hit Shuckle and do some damage fast before it just starts toxic stalling your whole team.
yeah, but this is going to be this is your fighting type, you know. So this is your fighting fire type into the bug rock type. We know that
I
Shuckle
mean,
has. Oh, hello.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
neutral, you know. So
Infest. He is. He's infestation toxic.
yeah, I think he's done this
Okay.
before.
He has. Yeah.
This is just the classic Shuckle set for Battlebane here.
So I think it's safe to say this is probably Megazard X here,
Yeah,
and then it's going to be an earthquake.
yeah. Maybe you could start setting up here, but I don't know. You're gonna take a lot of chip in the process.
I mean, if you try to set up, depending on what you use to set up, you're going to have to take. Oh.
Okay. Oh, could be belly drum Zard with a
With
substitute.
the sub up, yeah, that I think you might be right.
That would be cool for sure. Although you might be in trouble of getting outsped by the Scolipede at that point.
Oh, he's missed the dual wing
Oh,
beat. Oh, that's the second dual wing beat miss we've seen.
yeah, that's crazy. Two matches in a row,
Okay.
both missing dual wing beats. This one
This one's a lot more
probably a
important.
lot more impactful.
Yeah, that's a lot more.
And it does scream, well, not necessarily belly drum, but it's obviously physical if it's going for dual wing beat.
That just makes it seem more likely that it's going to be Megazard X. Is really
Yeah,
what that means to me.
which is what we expected.
Yeah,
Now, this is a good switch here, but you are taking that toxic chip every time you come in, and yeah, he can
yeah.
just waste turns with protect.
It's Willow on the Tauros as well. Really does not want to have access, allow his opponent to have access to anything. There's rest.
Oh, the rest is
Okay.
good. Okay,
Well,
that
that's
that
Resto
is really
Chesto.
that's some solid prep because yeah, you want this thing around for stuff like Scolipede. Interesting.
Okay, so this
Okay.
is this is likely it's only attacking move. I think then yeah, with Alex showing us the moves it's using. There's the Raging Bull. Yep.
Yeah, Raging Bull for sure.
And now with that infestation did zero damage. It quite literally did 0%
0%.
damage.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I guess that's 4 times resisted, right? So
And at +1 defense. Yeah.
yeah.
There's the rest. Yep, it's the only thing that
I
makes
don't think he even
sense.
needed a rest yet, to be honest. That was
Well, no, because if he doesn't rest, he's going to have to deal with the infestation damage, and he's going to have to deal with the toxic damage. And if he doesn't time it
yeah.
correctly,
I might have gone one more bulk up, but he's just playing it safe. That's fair.
yeah,
But it does leave you vulnerable to something else switching in now. He doesn't have sleep talk, obviously, because we've
no,
seen all full
we've
moves.
seen the moveset. There's the Scolipede switch. Infestation is gone, which means it's no longer taking residual damage.
Yeah. And it's a switch out.
Yep,
Interesting.
makes sense.
Yeah, didn't want to risk getting set up on too badly, but this is already a rough spot to be in.
Yeah, this is scary.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking another bulk up might have been better because even if he does switch once you rested and you're at +2 defense, you'd be in a bit of a better spot.
Yeah, but at that point, if you're at this, I'll try that again. At that point, you're asleep, and your
Yeah,
opponent can just set up another Swords Dance.
yeah, it's true. It's always risky playing with setup rest sets, even if you've got sleep talk. You don't know if you're going to pull the right move in those cases as well.
Correct, yeah. And with only having access to Raging Bull, as your only attacking move there. If you put yourself to sleep, you're guaranteed, I believe it's 2 sleep turns, so your opponent can just go, cool, I'm now faster than you, I'm at +6 speed, as +6 attack, I go for Earthquake and I kill.
I'm thinking it wouldn't be terrible to go back to it now, though, to get the. Well, I mean, in saying that, you're still asleep, but getting the Intimidate
The Intimidate would
would
help,
help.
yes. But the problem is that, yeah, you have reset your sleep turns.
Yeah, well, not reset like Gen 1 style, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yes, sorry, yes.
This is this is looking kind of bad for non-applicable now because a lot of these things could be taken out with a +2 Earthquake.
Yeah.
It's really just Taurus that seems like it would take the hit well, and
Oof.
then again,
Oh, that's a crit.
oh,
Okay, that's
crit.
big.
Yeah, because turning yourself dark is good in that situation, but
And then in this situation, there is no more. It does not appear that there is going to be any more priority available
yeah, unless he's got extreme speed,
on Arcanine, yeah.
Arcanine.
Which
Okay, he
I'm.
does go for the Intim now, but it's dealing with the sleep turns.
So this feels like it. It feels like it's a pretty safe Swords Dance.
Yeah, what has he got? One guaranteed sleep turn
I
still?
believe so, yeah.
So he hasn't really lost anything in
It's only so
getting
it
intimidated.
has been asleep for 1 turn, yeah.
Yeah.
So he can go for the Swords Dance, get a +3, and then I mean, at that point, do you go for the Earthquake and risk the Charizard switch, or do you go for the Rock Slide and miss and chance the miss because of the Charizard switch? And I feel like you just go for Earthquake, and if Charizard switches in, Charizard switches in.
Yeah,
After that,
because then you just click Rock Slide the next turn.
correct.
Yeah, this is very tough right
Ooh,
here. Ooh,
just straight
okay.
up Earthquake
That
doesn't.
that's actually good for non-applicable because he can possibly cycle back in and
Yes,
intimidate one more time.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah,
I definitely think your thought process of going for another Swords Dance was better there. Yeah,
okay.
he's not out of this completely now because he can intimidate one more time.
Goes for the Earthquake. Yep,
And he does predict the Earthquake.
yep, that makes sense.
I guess you kind of maybe you sack the Taurus on a switch in here.
Just to get it back to neutral. Yep, I think that's exactly
Yeah,
what he's doing. There's the Rock Slide. It
nice. And he doesn't even die.
doesn't even die. So he can actually cycle this thing again if he wants.
Yeah, it seems like he wants it dead though. Like he's picked that out of the four remaining ones to die. So I think he'll just take the hit here.
You'd think so, yeah. I mean, at this point, do you risk this thing switching out and go for the
Oh,
Swords
okay.
Dance? No, he goes for the Rock Slide
Oh,
and kills
okay.
the Zard. Okay, so he
Yeah,
makes the right
well,
prediction.
whatever plan he had with Zard, maybe it was Belly Drum, who knows, but it
Yeah.
seemed like it had got enough use already.
So we know that this Taurus is going to wake up this turn if it lives.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
everything is
yeah.
now weak to Earthquake once Walking Awake Terrors. Oh boy. But we are
Yeah,
at -1.
this is really tough. Unless he has some kind of crazy setup on one of these last two mons, it's pretty tough to claw it back from a 6-2 deficit.
Yeah.
He did get the extra Intimidate off though, which could be a play to get something set up in front of this.
Well, knowing that this has to Terra Fire, it's gonna be it's a -1 on the unless he goes for the Rock Slide.
Hmm.
Okay, there's the Hydro Steam.
Yeah.
Down it goes.
I
Okay.
guess setup wouldn't have made much difference anyway
No.
because he'd be faster on the second turn if even if he did set something
And
up
we have
there.
Aqua Jet on Armaldo. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's GG. Even
Yeah.
if this is,
Oh, and he
yeah,
misses the head
it was
smash.
Scarf. Yeah,
Oh my god. Yep.
I think it was Scarf. It might
Well,
just be naturally
Armaldo's
faster.
not fast.
Yeah,
Armaldo is not that fast. There's a reason
that's true.
why you kind of use it with Swift Swim.
Aquajet
Um,
and Swift Swim.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, Armaldo's base speed is 45. So,
Mm,
it's definitely going to be outsped by
yeah.
Arcanine.
I don't know why I felt like it revealed it at the end there, but I don't know. It feels very Scarf the way he played it, saving it for the end as well as some kind of speed control maybe.
Yeah,
But
that was oofed. A
yeah,
5-0 victory to Bug over Fire.
going from 1-0 last time to 5-0 this time
Yeah, turning it
in the other
completely on its
direction.
head.
Honestly, even 1-0 was pretty impressive, but this is just next level.
Yeah, that was not. The Scolipede setup and just sweep through did so well,
One of the only things that didn't resist all the fire moves, and
Yeah, we didn't
it,
even see a Raquin hit the field.
it was huge in this match. That Scolipede.
Well, that gives us our Zangoose Conference final match. It is
Yeah,
Fighting versus Bug.
Battlebane versus Stealth.
This is going to be a very interesting final.
Yeah, I like the fact that they both resist each other. That makes it very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation to see exactly where it lands. But with that, we will have the Survivor Conference finals later on. But I hope you enjoyed. That was the final semi-final match. Andrew, thank you for joining.
Yeah, it was a crazy, crazy second match there. I did not expect it to go that way.
No, definitely not. It was. I'm happy to see different things changing and interesting things happen, and that was
Yeah,
definitely one of them. So yes,
definitely was.
thank you all for joining, and we will see you next time.
Catch you then.
And with that, the Zangoose semi-finals draws to a close, with the Stealth Squadron winning 3-0 against the Fishiest Fiends, and the Swanky Sweepers taking a 5-0 victory over the Pink Ponyta Club. This means for the Zangoose Conference final, we have the Stealth Squadron with Fighting versus the Swanky Sweepers with Bug. Thank you all for joining for this video. The next one will be about the Survivor Conference final. So from me, that's everything. I will see you in the next one.